Oh, check it out. Junior Mafia.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Nosebleed Sports Podcast. I am Chris Witt. Across from me, as always, my most wonderful cousin that I've ever met in my life, and the ever popular now cousin on the Nosebleeds Facebook page, Adam Schmidt. How are you today, sir?
Magnificent. How are you?
If I was any better, I'd be you.
Have I used magnificent before?
Nah,
I feel like I have.
I don't think so. No.
Okay,
Nope.
good.
I started a little list here, and I don't see magnificent on it. I think you're good. Good to go.
Glad you're keeping a list.
Yeah, it's a short one. I only got 3 of the 8, so we're getting there. So welcome back. We are we had a kind of a fun show last week. We're gonna go through some things. We'll go over what we did last week on the with some response that we got on Facebook. We appreciate all the comments. Thank you guys very much. You can find us on Facebook at The Nosebleeds or The Nosebleed Sports Podcast. Search those. You'll find us. We're the first one that pops up. There's not a lot of people named Nosebleeds, I guess. So, although I did know a guy one time. His name was Bleed Nose. So, if it switches it, you might find him instead.
His name was Bleed Nose.
Bleed Nose.
I want that to be his real first and last name. It wasn't,
No,
but I want that to be his real first and last name.
not at all.
Maybe I'll name my kid Bleed.
Yeah, there you go. I'm not having another kid. All right, so today we're going to get into a little bit of the Reds. We're going to start with some Reds. We are going to go from there to go over kind of what we looked at last week, we talked about last week, and then, of course, the NBA Finals as we speak right now. The third quarter is coming to an end. Golden State's currently up 83-81 with 20 seconds left in the third. So if we sound a little like we're not paying attention at points, it's because we're probably watching the fourth quarter more than we're actually doing the show. So we're going to try to wait to get to the NBA Finals talk until this game's over and go from there. So let's start it off, man.
Let's
Homer
do it.
Bailey. Homer Bailey, they finally made the move. We talked last week about how they needed to make a move somehow. Was it going to be Bailey to the bullpen when Disco was ready, or was it going to be Sal Romano getting sent down?
Mm-hmm.
So they made the move. Homer sent to the bullpen. Disco comes up to start. However, they didn't need to release anybody else because Homer then goes to the DL.
In a strange turn of events, because nobody knew about this apparent knee injury that they're saying he had, that Jim Riggleman said everybody in the organization knew about. Nobody outside the organization knew about that somehow.
But somehow it only came up as an issue to send him to the DL when they make the decision to put him in the bullpen.
Right. So, yeah, very odd timing on that move to the DL. Maybe a coincidence, maybe, likely not. It doesn't seem like one. He was clearly unhappy about the demotion. He was asked by a Reds beat writer if Homer Bailey thinks he will be an effective reliever, and he responded, probably not.
Well, that's good. It's good to have confidence in yourself, I guess.
What a great attitude.
Great attitude. Yeah, like, okay, guess what? You are going to be terrible. Now, I mean, you're if you think you're not going to be good, you're not going to be good. You're on too big a stage.
Yeah. One defense for Homer Bailey, though, is what do you think, as a reporter, as a beat writer, to ask that question, what do you think his response is going to be? I
would hope his response is, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to throw my best, and yeah, I think I got really good stuff, and maybe in a short period of time I'll be able to fix some things and I'll be able to get back. I think I'll be a good reliever here for a while, but I will be back in the starting rotation. That's how I'd go about it. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not a 28-year-old. I'm not Homer Bailey. 32, whatever he is. Wow, he's that close to my age?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you guys are basically best friends.
Yeah, me and Homer, best friends. That's like me and Man Buns being best friends. Or Skinny Jeans. No, I think I dislike Homer Bailey as much as I dislike men wearing skinny jeans.
Huh.
Yeah, and which, by the way, is probably
That's high on your list.
the only thing any higher might be men in capris. So if you're in Boston, the city of Boston or the state of Massachusetts, and you're listening to this, I'm sorry. Make a decision. I mean, I have some shorts that look like they could be capris because they're like shants. They're just long, but they're long, baggy shorts.
Yeah.
Not tight, 4 inches below my knee, 6 inches below my ankle, above my ankle. Capris? Do you remember we went to Massachusetts? There was multiple men in Massachusetts wearing capris. I can't do that.
I'll be honest. I don't remember
ridiculous.
that at all. We
No?
did go. It was awesome. It was 2002, and we went on a tour of Fenway Park, and then we were at the game for Barry Zito versus Derek Lowe in Fenway Park, which in 2002 they were like two of the best American League
Yes,
pitchers.
they were.
So that was an awesome experience, but I do not remember men wearing capris there.
Yes.
That's a big thing in Boston.
I think it's an East Coast. Ooh, I almost said something that I would have gotten thrown off of
have
radio
a drink
stations.
of water, take a big deep
All right.
breath.
I'm good.
I'm
good.
You're gonna be all
I'm
right.
good.
It's I understand it. Look, men wearing capris, odd to me. Skinny jeans, we see plenty of those around here.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever.
We have family that's starting to get really close to having a little too skinny jeans.
Family with skinny jeans.
They're just getting a little too close. They're not there yet, but they're dangerously close.
There is a thing now though that wearing pants that are form fitting.
The running these Adidas running pants that look like tights with the elastic on the bottom. I went out and I bought I was at the Nike outlet store and I found Nike sweats like the old ones from 10 years ago, baggy at the bottom, no elastic, no strings, just a pair of baggy sweatpants. I bought 4 of them because I'm scared that in my lifetime I'll never be able to buy those again after Kanye West walks around with these sweatpants on with a 6-inch elastic band on the bottom.
Look,
that looks ridiculous.
Fashion is cyclical, okay?
Fashion is ridiculous.
As soon as everybody starts wearing all the tight clothes, then LeBron James and Kanye West and whoever else is responsible for the fashion world for deciding what's in style. Cam Newton is not
responsible for fashion.
All those guys that are responsible for what's in style will start wearing baggy stuff again because everybody's following what they started originally.
All right. Well, I guess
it's going to come back around. Don't worry about it.
All right.
You've got your baggy stuff.
Right.
You're ready to go.
I'm good. I'll be ready here in 15 years and then when I wear out those 4 pair of sweatpants, I'll be able to come back with some new ones.
It'll be like 2 years from now. They'll be back in. I promise.
I'm telling you, the other thing that happens a lot as we watch this game, it's not so bad right now in the NBA, but in college basketball, I think we've talked about this on a previous podcast, the shorts that basketball players are wearing are starting to get on my nerves too.
Thank you, James Harden.
It is hard for me to also find a pair of shorts that I can wear anymore when I go to the outlet, any of those Nike stores or any of that, because they're all above your knee. They want the end of the shorts to be at your knee. I can't buy XXL because they fall off my butt. I ain't got a butt, so I can't wear those. Can't tighten them tight enough. So larges just don't work anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm sewing up holes and trying to keep the ones I got as long as I can.
You're in a predicament.
I am. I'm in a predicament is correct.
And so is Homer Bailey.
Yes, he is. Sorry, I apologize.
No, that's perfectly fine. Homer Bailey now is. So here's the thing. So on May 30th, Jim Riggleman announced they were demoting him to the bullpen. He
Right.
didn't pitch, and then on, I believe it was June 3rd, they announced that he was heading to the DL. Right, 10-day, I believe. So today, from what I understand, they said Tom Brenneman on the broadcast tonight. Reds lost 5-3, but on the broadcast, Tom Brenneman said that Jim Riggleman said that Homer Bailey will make a rehab start in AAA as a starter. So
Really?
yes. So But that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to come back up and be a starter.
Or does that mean that when he makes his rehab, he's coming up and they're going to send like Salamano down?
That's
and he'll
I'm
stay
thinking that's a possibility, certainly, because, and that's, I mean, maybe Bailey threw up enough of a fit, or they are just trying to avoid what they know or what they believe is probably going to be a pretty tense situation where Homer Bailey doesn't want to pitch out of the bullpen.
Right.
Is he gonna? I don't think he can refuse, but I mean, I guess he could. I don't think he would go that far. I really don't. As much as he doesn't want to, I don't think he would go that far. If they told him you're in the bullpen and they call him in the middle, they call back there in the middle of the game, get Bailey warming up. Bailey, get going. He's not. I don't think he's gonna sit there and refuse.
You don't think so?
No, I don't.
I wouldn't be surprised.
We've never. I don't think we've ever seen anybody in baseball do that that I know of.
Mm-mm.
So, and I don't think Homer Bailey's that bad. You might. I don't think he's that bad. I think he would, and I think there are enough guys around that would talk to him and be like, "Look, I know this stinks. You don't want to do this. Go about it the best way possible. Be as professional as you can, and work your way back into it. At the end of the season, demand a trade or whatever you have to do, but just deal with it." Deal with the situation now, and now he may get an opportunity to just go right back into the starting rotation when he's done.
It's what it's looking like.
But maybe not. Maybe he just goes down there because it probably doesn't make sense to send him down there and maybe have him throw an inning, and then an inning the next day or something like that.
Yeah, because that's not really rehab. That's not really rehabbing
Right.
anything or testing anything
Right.
out.
So
but
maybe
that's not
just
what
for
they
rehab
would do.
purposes.
That's not how they do. When they rehab a reliever, they come in for 2 innings, 3 innings, or a certain amount of pitches. That's what they do for those relievers. He's not just going to come in for an inning unless he throws 30 pitches in an inning. Then maybe he's only in there for an inning.
Like he was throwing.
Exactly, like he was doing when he was up here anyway.
Okay, so that's an interesting situation. We'll keep an eye on it. But for right now, that's what's going on with it.
So on the upside of the Reds, which is a big thing of what the Reds are trying to do, the draft ended today. Was it 30 rounds, 44 rounds? It's some ridiculous number of rounds.
I think it's 238 rounds.
Is it really?
No, it's not at all.
I wouldn't doubt it. I really have no idea how many rounds there are. I could probably find out.
I would be drafted in the 214th round.
All right, so there's looks like 40 rounds. There's 40 rounds in the major league, and I'll go through all 40 if you'd like me to.
Yeah, will you please announce every player that was drafted?
The Reds took with their first pick a third baseman, 5th overall, Jonathan India, Florida Gators. What do you think about this?
So, from what I understand, very good hitter. Very good hitter. He hit 360. He was the SEC Player of the Year this year.
Yeah.
Hit 365, 16 home runs, 40 RBIs in 54 games. I mean, those are great numbers.
Yeah.
He also, from the scouting report, is a very good defensive player and versatile.
That's the big thing.
Right. Because, look, you drafted Nick Senzel 2 years ago, and he's your top or second prospect, right? He's a third baseman. He's been playing some other positions. They tried him at some other positions as well, but he's a third. They drafted him as a third baseman.
Correct.
You also signed Eugenio Suarez to a 7-year deal in spring training.
That's the one.
Suarez
isn't going anywhere.
Right.
For 7 years, Suarez is going to play third. They've already made that commitment.
The way he has played the last 2 years, yes. Now, but they said, and they even asked India, where do you see yourself playing in the majors? And he said he would like to play shortstop because he played shortstop his whole life until he got to Florida.
Huh.
And then they made him a third baseman. But the Reds brass said, like, look, this kid's very versatile and he can play different positions. We'll try him at some different things.
Yeah.
So not necessarily going to be a third baseman. He was a third baseman in college, a very good one from what I understand. And he'll be, and that's the thing. So that's the thing too. So in the last few years, I've really gravitated toward this thing where I would always, if it's my draft, if I'm in charge of drafting players for a team, I go college player over high school player almost every time. What do you think about that?
All right, so college player. So I read the Billy Beans book when that came out, the Moneyball. The movie was okay, but the book I've read about 3 books in my life that were more than 100 pages, front to back, front cover to back, cover to cover, cover to cover. That's the saying I'm trying to.
One was the Bible, 2 was Moneyball.
One was Moneyball,
and the third one was that book in 5th grade. Shoot, what was it? Whatever the book was in 5th grade that you had to read. And you actually read that one.
I might
I'm
have.
just kidding.
I don't know.
I have no idea what your 3 books were. But Moneyball was one.
Moneyball was one of them. I've tried to read many. I love sport. When I was little, Matt Christopher. Do you remember Matt Christopher books? Yeah.
Hard Drive to Short.
Yes,
Hard Drive to Short was my
kid
favorite.
with the glass arm. I mean, there's all kinds of good ones. So I read all those, but they were only like 30 pages, so that wasn't that big a deal. I enjoyed those. Anyway, he was a big proponent of only drafting college players, and he would draft, and he, this goes even further into on base percentage and walks and things like that he was looking at, and one time drafted a kid that probably would have been drafted in the 200s, like 4th overall, and told him, just listen, you just don't come asking for a bunch of money because you're a 200th pick, but we want you. So anyway, the whole thing about that is you are able to get a better grip of who these players really are. You get a longer span. You get a better group of players they're playing against. They're not just playing. There's a million high school players. There's thousands of college players, and there's hundreds of Major League Baseball players. So you're slowly dwindling it down, the better competition, and the kids are maturing at that age. They're just, your body grows so much from 18 to 22. Mine grew in multiple facets, mostly in my gut. But so yes, I agree with you there. Now, on the other hand, there are phenoms that come out. You got Bryce Harper's, you got Mike Trout's. When a guy like that comes around, there's nothing you can do. I mean, that's it. You if you don't take them and you have the first pick, I don't care what your thought process is. Don't be stupid. Don't pass up on something like that. But for the most part, I am a college guy. I agree with that.
Yeah, I just think they're developed more. And when you're drafting, especially for baseball, you are drafting based on potential and what you think their ceiling is, or, and it's so much harder. No matter how talented a kid looks in high school, it's so much harder to really project what he's going to be as a Major League Baseball player for 10 or 12 or 15 years.
Because Major League Baseball is so much different. Now, there's more money probably. If you can make it, there's more money there than any other sport. But at the same time, it's so much different than every other sport. One, there's 40 rounds in every draft for every team, plus supplemental picks and all this other minutia that comes with trades before and after deadlines and all kinds of crazy stuff. So there's a lot of kids that get drafted. Tons of them won't play this year. They'll stay in college. They'll go to college instead of staying in high school. But I don't. Where was I going with this?
Well, so college, we agree that
we do agree.
Mostly we would choose college players over high school players.
That's what I get for watching this game in the background.
Just because that's why I kind of turned myself away from it a little bit, because there's no way I'd be able to concentrate. But so yeah, just for they're 2 or 3 or 4 years further developed.
Yes.
So you have a better idea, and to me that means there's potential to get a guy up to the big league club within a year or two, instead of 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 if you draft a 17-year-old, out of high school. Who throws 95, which is great, and he'll probably develop, but you don't know. For every Bryce Harper and Mike Trout that worked out, that were drafted as a high school player.
Hundreds and hundreds of ones that didn't. And that's what I was getting at before, is the money. And there's more money there. So it's, if you can make it, then there's big money to make. However, unlike in football and basketball, where if you get drafted, you're pretty much going to be on that roster. I mean, you got a really good chance of making an NFL roster, an NBA roster, if you're drafted
in the first round.
in
yeah.
the first round.
Mhm.
You're in baseball's first round. It could still take you 5, 6, maybe never years
Right.
to actually make the big leagues. So that's the biggest difference to me. So yes, get a college kid. You got a better understanding of who that kid's going to be, a better chance of him coming out and getting to the big leagues faster. I completely agree with you on that.
So, right. So, congratulations to Jonathan India.
Yep.
The Reds' first round pick.
Can't wait to see how it goes, man. I hope you make it short because we can't find one now. We've been trying ever since Lark left.
Right. Yeah, that's true. So one more thing about the MLB, because the MLB draft is not like the NFL draft or the NBA draft. It doesn't have nearly as much fanfare. They haven't figured out how to, because people don't know who these people are.
They don't
that
know
are
who
being
they are,
drafted.
and there's 40 rounds, and
Yeah.
they're not going to see
It's-
these guys next year. They're going to get drafted, and nobody's going to know who they are.
Right. Yeah. But one of my favorite things about the Major League Draft that I make sure to look at every year, especially at the end of the draft, is, and this makes me feel so old every year, so much older every year, is seeing players that we saw play their sons
Yes.
being drafted, right?
Yes.
There are a ton of them now.
Yes.
There were
We talked about one that we love, which, who's still in the minors. I mean, the Vladimir Guerrero and Vlad Jr. That's a big one. But it is really cool to see that. So go ahead, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, Pudge Rodriguez's son is up with the big club now. So there were a few there were 29 over the first 3 days, not including today. There were 29 players that were drafted that had ties. So either a father, a brother that maybe plays now,
Yeah.
an uncle, Jimmy Rollins' cousin was drafted.
Really?
Yeah.
Rollins has got he's got a brother or something also that plays somewhere, doesn't he?
Oh, maybe.
I thought I
Yeah.
heard he's got a nephew or something like that might be out there somewhere too.
I love Jimmy Rollins. But so the guys that I think the highest profile fathers that I saw that were drafted over the first few days,
David Weathers.
Ryan Weathers,
Right.
former Red, David Weathers'
Yep.
son. He was
So-
he was drafted 7th overall to the Padres.
Crazy story. So my dad and I, years ago, I couldn't tell you how many years it was. I would say probably 10 or 12 years ago, maybe. We, for Father's Day, did the Reds go down on the field and toss on the field. Awesome. It was the cool. I got cold chills right now. It's hotter than I'll get out down here, but I got cold chills right now. That was awesome. So as we're there, Weathers was with the club, and he's holding a little baby and has a little kid walking with him. And it makes me wonder, like, man, he came over and talked to us and, said hi and had a little conversation for a minute. He was out there. So, yeah, there's a good chance that I've met the 7th round draft pick before.
I remember seeing
Or
David.
not the 7th round, but the 7th all time.
I remember
overall.
seeing David Weathers pitching to his son out in the outfield, and his son trying to hit balls over the wall from 30 or 40 feet away or whatever. But he, and he was, I don't know, like 6 or something like that. But he was the high school Gatorade Player of the Year this year.
Really?
In all of the United States of America.
Wow.
Left-handed pitcher from high school. And he was drafted 7th overall. So we'll see. Also, interesting fact, he is being represented, his agent, Kent Merker.
You got to be kidding me.
Former
How about
David
that?
Weathers
Yeah.
teammate on
Yes.
the Reds, Kent
Yes.
Merker, who was a hilarious guy, and he's an agent now.
So Kent Merker, if I remember correctly, he reminds me a lot of like a Sam LeCure kind of a guy. I feel like I remember like some
Pretty down to
good
earth,
sarcasm,
good-
very
yeah,
sarcastic,
good sense of humor.
kind of
Right, yeah.
kinda guy.
It's been cool listening to Sam LeCure on some of the broadcasts
yeah.
too this year.
He's been good.
Right. So anyway, just a few more pretty big names. At least their fathers were big names. Griffin Conine, Jeff Conine's son,
There you go.
Mr. Marlin.
Yeah.
Cody Clemens, your boy, Roger Clemens.
Roger, my boy, yeah. And let me tell you, there was a long time where Roger Clemens I loved Roger Clemens. I mean, I'm not saying that the guy's not a great pitcher and shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, but
I was just gonna say he should be in the Hall of Fame because I thought that would be a little dig at you because I thought you would say he shouldn't be.
No, I
and it
think
would
he
get
should.
under your
I
skin.
think he should. There's a
but we
few of
agree.
those
All
steroid
right.
guys that should be, and I think he's one of them.
All right. George Bell Jr. was drafted. George Bell, the 1987 American League
How many
MVP.
So now my question is, how many Bells is that? How many generations of Bells now
Well,
have been? There's Buddy.
Not the same
It's-
family.
I thought Buddy
but-
Bell and George. What's Buddy Bell's dad's name? Because Buddy
Gus?
Bell's dad
Gus.
and Gus Bell, and then he had a son. I thought that was
I don't
there.
know. There are a million
Bells,
Bells
yeah.
that were
Yeah, you're
from
probably
here,
right.
from around here, or whatever. So George Bell Jr. Last one, Logan Browning.
There you go.
Mr. Perfect Son.
I love it, Mr.
Logan
Perfect, Tommy
Browning.
Browning. Tom Browning, awesome guy. We were at a Reds game last year and did this sit down thing up in the right field stand somewhere, and it was breakfast with Browning. They do like every
Yeah.
Sunday. Super cool. He just walks around. He's just there on Sunday, 1:00 games, and he just walks around from table to table. And you want to sit there and bull crap with him for a minute, he's down for it. Don't talk about anything.
He
It
seems
is
like that kind of guy. Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah.
And he sat down with the family and just wanted to, didn't care. He said, "Hey, what you guys got going on? Talk baseball, talk, you could talk about
Talk dating apps.
Talk dating apps if you want." Speaking of dating apps,
Oh God.
so
Tom Browning's not on dating
Tom
apps,
Browning's
I'm
not
sure
on
of it.
dating apps. No, I know that for sure. He's I know his wife was having some trouble. Hopefully she's doing better.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, good job, Adam.
Yeah, I feel like $1 million.
I bet you felt like $1 million all week when you were getting multiple comments on our last podcast all about the dating sites. We had some women that have never listened to any of our podcasts before that listen now, and I think if I remember correctly, I saw the one that got me the best. I wanna say hello, Ashley. I think it's okay to say her name. I feel like it's okay. She posted on there, somebody could see it. My favorite part of the comment that she said was, I know Adam from these dating apps in which we've all met her. She was actually at my best friend's wedding. I was the best man in. She was there with you, and nice girl, super nice. And she said, Adam Schmidt is the reason that I added in all capital letters that my dog and I are a package deal on dating sites.
So yes, some of the things I had to say last week about my hang-ups with the repetition of the same 3 or 4 or 5 things. There were even a couple things I didn't mention that seemed to be on every single profile.
Outdoors, must love dogs, travel the world.
Traveling, yeah.
I'd be happy to bring them back up.
Thanks. Yeah, no, we got some pretty good feedback, and some of our some other family members and stuff that didn't like you mentioned haven't listened to before. That they saw that we spoke about that and they wanted to hear what we had to say about it. And
Aunt
yeah,
B,
so
big shout out to Aunt B.
Aunt
Thanks for
B.
listening.
yeah, thank you. And she spread the word too.
Yes.
to a few people. So
Yes.
she's doing us a huge favor there. So yeah, but the most interesting thing was you mentioned Ashley, who was a former girlfriend of mine, and there was another former girlfriend of mine who reached out and said that she had listened to it as well, just to hear what I had to say. Both of those young ladies, both extraordinary people. I met both of them online on dating sites.
Both had a dog.
Both had a dog that I, got the pleasure of spending lots of time with. Yeah, it was. Look, it's a good thing to put on there. Honestly, it's a good thing because, and look, most people don't care if you have a dog or not because most people like dogs, and I'm kind of one of those people that I don't necessarily hate them anymore, but I am not.
It's not something you need.
I
You don't need to love someone's dog to be in love with them. That was your point.
That was my point,
Yes.
and I don't prefer to have dogs around if I have a choice. Okay. There's a lot. We could go into that. We won't.
Right.
Anyway, but it was very interesting to
It
hear
was.
from two people I did not expect to hear from on that. And it was kind of fun.
Yeah,
to
it
hear
was a
about
lot
it.
of fun. So we're gonna try to do something goofy like that. Maybe try to break up our segments and maybe see if we can't get Adam riled up more often than
Just
not.
a little non-sports
Yeah,
thing to get the people to listen to. If you're bored with sports or whatever, that's fine.
If you got any ideas, or Adam, or me, and
Or
there's
Chris,
something that
too,
we
yeah.
get excited about that is probably pretty stupid that nobody else would get really interested about except us, please let us know. Give us a comment. We'd be happy to do it. We're gonna call it something. It might be off the court. I think might be what we call it. Adam had that. I kind of like that.
Something like that.
There you go.
Just-
Anyway, so on this note, real quick, before we get off of here, the final, there's 2 minutes left. The Cavs are down 4. They've missed way too many free throws at the end of this game, and there's been a ton of fouls. That one probably was the only one that was a foul out of all the ones they called down the stretch so far. Anyway, there's a rush shot. Didn't need to take. Another offensive rebound. Okay, so anyway, I want to get to this because I have a question. LeBron just hit a 3. Unbelievable. So, speaking of dating apps, so I got a buddy of mine who, when I would travel, we'd go to the bar and sit down and have a drink, and then he'd pull up his little dating app and he'd just start going right and just he sits and whatever, he's just right, left, whatever. So we started having a conversation, and I said, okay, so you just get on these Tinders and these Bumbles and Real Big Fishes and all these things like this, and when you do it, you're looking at a picture of someone and it's just their face. You have no idea. He said he would say 60% of the time the person that he walks into the bar to meet, not the same, doesn't look at all like the person in their picture. Now,
I'd almost call that a low number.
Okay, so here's my question for you.
Maybe not. Maybe that's pretty.
We
accurate.
talked about this, and there was a female bartender who was a Tinder person as well, and they had a conversation about it. It was pretty funny. So if you walk into a bar and that's the person, and that is not the person that you were swiping right for, is it okay to just turn? I mean, what do? You just turn around and walk out? Do you walk up and do you confront them? He said he confronts them. He said he'll walk up and say, "Listen, I'll buy you a beer. I got no problem doing that, but this ain't gonna go any further. You're not the person that I thought you were. You're misleading, which means you're probably misleading in other ways, and that's it. I feel like that's okay. I don't know these websites very well.
That's big time, but you can see a scenario where that happens. And
100%.
I think that happens a lot.
And I'm sure it's both ways, not just women. I'm sure the guys do the same thing.
Listen, yeah, absolutely. I have experienced that. Okay, so good question. Everybody, I'm sure, would handle it differently. I would handle it differently.
I know how
than
you
your
would
friend.
handle it. You would end up dating that girl for 6 months.
Oh man, yikes!
And I hope there's not someone out there that you dated for 6 months and they think I'm talking about them. That's not. It's just a random number.
No. Yeah, but I totally understand where you got that take from. No, I would, I would not go that far, but I would, and have, just try to have, just go ahead. Look, you were planning on going on a date. Just do it. Just do it.
Do you say something about it?
I don't know.
I feel like they're misleading you. I feel like that's a
Certainly.
misrepresentation. I feel like you could almost sue them for your money that you paid for dinner. I feel like you could go to small claims court, sue them for misrepresentation, get your money back.
If you're gonna go through all that, just go ahead and walk
If
out.
Judge
Just turn around
Judy
and walk
wants to
out.
take my case, I'm going.
Judge Judy, maybe that's a topic for one of those days. Because boy, oh boy. Anyway, yeah. I'm not gonna get distracted.
Okay, don't.
But watching the game behind me, that's distracting.
It's a 4-point game with 40 seconds to go.
Okay. I would just go ahead and go on with the date and try to have a nice time and be respectful and not say anything about that, and then just not continue on with the relationship after that.
Yeah.
And if they have a question about why or whatever, then maybe I could find a way to very gently, talk my way around that being the case. So I don't know. You can handle it however you want. I don't want to ever be. I don't want there to be any kind of tension or any kind of uncomfortability.
Have they ever done that to you? Has any girl you ever walked into somewhere like say, okay, hey, how you doing? Swipe. We both righted each other.
No.
Great. Let's go here, and then get in there, and they're like, you know what? I don't.
Oh, I think I've met girls that probably weren't as interested after we met. As a matter of fact, yeah, I know that's the case because it just happened not that long ago. But look,
It's a numbers game, man.
It's totally,
right?
yeah.
I feel like it's
totally
a numbers
fine.
game now.
It's totally fine, but it doesn't happen a lot for me because I of course I'm gonna try.
We all know you're very, very picky.
I'm very picky, absolutely.
Yes.
But
Obvious
on
by
my
last
profile though, I try to, like everybody else, find the best pictures I can of me. I don't think there's one good picture that exists of me, but I try to find the best ones that I think and put them up there. But they look like I can't do angles and stuff like these girls. I'm telling you. Okay, I'm gonna try.
I figured it out. So. I'm not going to say who it was who told me these tricks, but there's someone, and well, she's never going to listen, but her husband might. She showed me these tricks on what you do. See, to get yourself
Everybody
looking
knows
skinny,
them.
you got to stick your chin out, take the picture from above, suck your cheeks in, make a duck face, and all of a sudden you're
and take
80
it from,
pounds
and take
less.
it from like chest area up.
Cleavage area up seems
Probably,
to be what
or
most
even
of them
just
do.
or even just your face or whatever. But yeah,
Sure.
nothing. Right. So there are a lot of tricks, a lot of angles, a lot of lighting stuff. Makeup, certainly, that's one of the advantages that the ladies have.
Sure.
Not that some men don't use makeup, probably, but they also wear skinny jeans and capris. So,
Jeez.
all right, off that. But no, yeah, look, that happens. You handle it however you want to handle it. I prefer to just go ahead and go on with the date and try to have a nice time, and then just from there on, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to talk to them anymore if you don't want or whatever.
That's the end of it.
That's the end of it.
Good for you. You're such a gentleman. You're such a gentleman. All right.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. Steph Curry is sitting on the line right now. They are up by 6, I believe, right now.
I would say standing. He's not actually sitting on the line, but he's standing on the free throw
Well,
line.
when he stands next to Kevin Durant, I feel like he's
It looks
just
like
sitting
he's
down.
sitting. That's a
Yeah.
great point.
Yeah. So anyway, Kevin Durant just hit a 3 to put him back up, to put Golden State up 6 with 12 left. This game's all but over. Most of the people have left the game. Kevin Durant had an amazing game today. He hit big shot after big shot every time they needed it. Everybody knows how much I love LeBron James. I think LeBron James is as good or better than anyone that's ever played this game. I think he's amazing. Kevin Durant, I don't think he wants to be that, but I think he could be that same potential. He is amazing. He's 7 foot, handles the ball better than half the guys on the court. It's unbelievable. They just won by 8. Game's over. 110-102. You heard it here first. Probably not, because this won't be out till tomorrow morning. No, it won't. It'll be out. It'll be out in about an hour from now.
Huh. Okay. Okay. So Kevin Durant, I'm glad you brought him up, and yeah, he's been good in the finals so far. And that's 3-0 now. The Warriors are up 3-0. Next one's in Cleveland again, but
this one hurt, man. 33 for LeBron, 33, 10 and 11, and he's gonna and people are gonna say, wasn't that great of a game.
47 minutes for LeBron. I'm glad he got that rest.
He needed a rest. Here's my question for you though. This is the question I have now. LeBron James puts up these gaudy numbers all the time in all these games, and when he has a game like what did he have in game 2? I think he had 27 or something like that, with 13 and 9 rebounds, 13 rebounds, 9 assists. that is a phenomenal game for anyone in the NBA.
Absolutely.
But he's looked at as LeBron needs to play better. Like, what do you want the guy to do?
I mean, I don't think of it that way.
I just feel like I hear it that way.
Sure, I'm sure some people say that, but I think most people feel like most people are under the same impression that he's got to get more help. You know, Kevin Love gives you a double-double, which is great. He can give you 20 and 10, and he has been, but besides
he had a great
that,
first quarter today.
Yeah, but he had a double-double at halftime.
Yeah.
He had 15 and 10, I think, but besides him, you have to get more out of J.R. Smith. You have to get more out of.
And J.R. Smith had a good first quarter. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: they could beat any team in the NBA. There's no team beating Cleveland in the NBA in a 7-game series except this Golden State team. This is the only team I think that could do it. I don't think Houston. I don't know that Houston could do it. Watching Houston against these, I think they would have matched up better against Houston. I don't know that Houston has the length to be able to guard LeBron. And I mean, Iguodala, let's be honest, Iguodala's back for this game.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's going to call him a LeBron stopper because there's no such thing. But he's done a great job on him. He's long, he's decently quick, and he's strong. Mm-hmm. And that's what you have to be strong to guard LeBron. I don't know that Houston would have had anybody strong enough to take him on.
They would have probably put Trevor Ariza on him. And
Trevor Ariza looks closer to the Kevin Durant than he does look like.
He's a thin
Iguodala
guy because he's long, but he's a defensive player. And PJ Tucker,
you're right.
They would have had him on him a lot, and he's a very physical player, very physical, and he's strong enough to guard LeBron. He gives up a few inches to LeBron, but he's really strong, and he would be really physical with LeBron, and he'd probably get called for a lot of fouls because LeBron's going to get those calls, but he would wear LeBron down a little bit, and LeBron's is fit and ready to play 48 minutes.
He's in the best shape of his entire career right now.
He may be.
I mean, that's what he said, and they showed these workout routines because last year he didn't feel it. Last year he realized that he was not in the best shape of his career, and he got himself, and he spends. I think
1.5. I think.
I was just gonna say $2 million. I heard something ridiculous. $1.5 million just on his body.
Mm-hmm.
That's
taking care of his body. That would be
unbelievable.
That would be so awesome.
Do you think that includes tattoo money?
No.
Do you think he's done with tattoos?
Because that's not taking care of his body. That's actually the opposite of taking care of your body. But not that I don't have a problem with tattoos or anything. Anyway.
I'm tatted up. He says that just because he wants to. I'm head to toe tatted up.
You are?
Yeah. And you're looking right at me. You're looking at my skull that I got tatted on my face right now. I saw a guy ask me for money in Columbus the other day. I'm sitting in Arby's parking lot on the phone, and this guy walks up with a $25. It's raining. He's got a $25 Applebee's gift card, and he's standing by my car while my windows are rolled up and I'm on the phone. And he's just standing there, and he has a skull tattooed on his face. His face is a tattoo of what his skull probably looks like. And I'm like, what in God's name makes you think that I want to talk to you right now? Are you kidding? So I but me, I'm a nice guy.
You want to talk to everybody.
100% I love talking to anybody. So I crack the window down, and he says, man, I need to get an ID so I can get into a homeless shelter. And he pulls out these like 3 singles and a $25 Applebee's gift card. And he goes, I got $6. And he had 3 bills in his hands. They were all singles. I have $6 in this thing. I just need, and I was like,
$3 on an Applebee's
and
gift
I looked at him and I was like, the guy, I got my phone on the speaker in my car. Like, he can hear this guy talking to me. And I'm like, I gave him the old wait a second, pointed at the car, rolled the window up, stood next to my car, pouring down rain in Columbus. I'm like, you know what? For that, I stopped. While the guy was on the phone, I rolled the window down. I took $3 and I handed it to him. And he's like, oh, man, thank you so much. And he tries to give me the 20 soaking wet cardboard that this gift card's taped to. And he's trying to give it to me through the window. And I'm like, Skullface. And I realized that he's got skull fingers as well tatted.
You said skull face?
Yeah, I said Skullface. I don't need that, dude. And he goes, no, just take it. I don't know where this place is even at. And he threw it into my car. I now have I'm scared to do it. I don't know what to do with it.
Dude.
It's a $25 Applebee's gift card. I did not check it to see if it has money on it, but it's still glued to the wet cardboard.
A couple of things. One, if it was an Arby's gift card, that would have
been great because I had
opportune.
not gone inside Arby's to eat yet. So
It's hilarious that you were sitting in an Arby's on the phone, sitting in an Arby's parking lot on the phone in Columbus. Oh my God, that's my favorite part, honestly, of the story. That you were just sitting in an Arby's parking lot on the phone.
I was planning on getting. I like to get the bacon, beef, and cheddar double meat. Take the bun off.
Oh my God!
Take the bun off. Horsey sauce and Arby's sauce, and go to town. I'm trying to lose some lbs. I take the bun
So
off.
that's a perfect way to do it.
I take the bun off. So anyway, Skullface.
Well, you don't want any carbs, obviously.
Yeah, speaking of Skullface, let's get back to LeBron's tats.
One more thing, though. My second thing on that.
Okay.
Do you have any idea how much cocaine he cut up with that gift card?
No,
with that Applebee's $3 gift card.
He seemed like he was either coming down off his high, or he maybe was on something at the time of a downer.
He's got $6 now to get his next thing. He's got
now
to find
he's got $6.
find a new gift card.
I felt bad for him
to cut it up.
I gave him $6. You said you had $6. You held up 3 singles. Now I feel like you really need to, if you're going to tell the story to the next person, tell it right. He threw that thing in my car and sped walk to the street and took off walking down the street. It was almost like we got in an argument at the end because I didn't want his $25 Applebee's gift card.
He's got enough for a gram now.
Who doesn't know where Applebee's is?
Apparently a homeless guy in Columbus. I don't know.
It's
How did he get
ridiculous.
a $3? Anyway, I don't know how he got a $3.
It's not a $3 bill, man. It's a $25 gift card and 3 singles.
Right. But how? Somebody must have given him a $25 Applebee's gift card.
I guarantee it.
Which is
They're
a
driving
brilliant
down the road.
idea. Which
Yep.
is a very good idea if you want to help a homeless person, but you don't want to give them money because you're afraid they're going to use it for drugs.
I usually keep water in my car all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and if there's a homeless guy sitting there and he's giving you the stare because they stare into your car, I got no whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I grab a water. I give him a water or two every time. I don't give him.
Here,
I
here's
usually
the-
don't give him any money. I just give him water. But this guy needed $6, obviously, so I helped him out.
For his ID.
Yeah, he had to get an
ID costs more than $6. I'm sorry to tell you. Whether it's
not a
whether
driver,
it's-
not a driver's license, just state ID.
Yeah, whether it's cash money
The
or
problem is, I think he's probably going to need his birth certificate or social security card to make that happen. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he doesn't have it.
he's going to stand in a long line at the DMV and find out he's
Ooh.
way short.
Oh, that's going to suck. Poor Skullface.
Skullface, I'm sure you're listening, obviously. And
I gave him a
hope you're-
nosebleed sticker, nosebleed sportscast sticker as
Oh,
well.
good.
So there's a good chance.
Good. He'll probably put that on his ID. He'll put that on his bunk at the homeless
gonna
shelter.
He's going to try to sell that for $3. All right, so real quick, so go back to this. So LeBron James. Okay, so while we're on the topic, let's just, you know what, this show has gotten a little out there, so I'm just going to bring this up for you.
Okay.
Real quick question, sports related, with LeBron James. Higher hairline, LeBron James or Stephen A. Smith?
Stephen A. Smith has the higher one. Stephen A. Smith has more hair though. So LeBron is, you can see very
I'm not talking
easily
about the plugs or whatever he's got in there. I'm talking about the actual when he's playing, and you
the
can see that.
hairline.
I think it's higher. I think,
You think
his is.
LeBron's
Oh
is?
yeah, I think his is higher than Stephen A's.
Now I'm going to have to look at a picture of them side by side, but I feel like just off the top of my head, I feel like Stephen A. But that's such a good question, and it's a question that I want to really dig into
Mhm.
and really investigate.
Well, I'm going with Stephen. I'm going with LeBron.
You're going
because
LeBron.
LeBron is obviously the best at everything. He's definitely going to win that.
Here's my
as
thing:
well.
is he in the finals here? He's let his hair, the hair that's there, get a little long. for him. Like, if I'm him, and I think pretty clearly, maybe not as much this year, but pretty clearly over the last few years, as he's definitely been losing his hair, has been a little self-conscious about it, I think, because he used to do the headband that covered the wide headband that covered it, and then he quit that, and he's had some different looking thicknesses.
$1.2 million that he spent on his body, that a big chunk of that went to his hair.
At least $800,000
minimum.
But the way that it's growing right now, I mean, I'd do all the way down. Like, if he doesn't want to he shaved it. He shaved it completely bald in the off season.
Yeah.
Like one time, I think, and that was it. And he posted this video, and it went all viral, and people were doing because he was working out and he was singing, and he did this face wipe thing, and people were doing their own versions, putting out their own versions of it. I don't know what's going on with the internet, but
holy cow.
Anyway, why not cut it like all the way down, so that so maybe you see like the shadow, but it's so short, because the longer it gets, the more obvious it is.
I agree that short stuff in front's fake.
It's been time to come on home for a while.
100%. You know, I got a bald buddy of mine, and he's never pretended. Hey, if you're going bald, brother, you got to own it.
He owns it, and he's a beautiful man.
He's got a big
bald head.
He's got a pretty big dome.
That's okay. And he owns it, because his fantasy teams are named that. I mean,
Little Big Dome, yeah.
Yeah, he's such a wonderful guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a decent guy. All right, so and he better get his golf game on, because we need to make a move tomorrow. So let's get off of this. So I do want to say this real quick about the Cavs. One thing that's killing the Cavs in this series, and has killed them for a lot of this playoffs: point blank easy baskets. How many layups? Just backdoor cuts that there's no backside help. There's no, just wide open layups, not contested. How does this happen?
I'm glad you said that, and I'm glad you kind of explained it as wide open, because I feel like there's
like if you're not contested in the paint, you're wide open. You might have a guy on your back, but they're wide open.
If they're wide open, they're wide open. One of my things is that I hear people say a lot is you can't miss easy shots and bunnies. Well, the thing is, a shot from 2 feet away from the rim is not an automatic easy shot.
No, that's not a bunny.
You're almost never going to get a wide open shot like that close to the rim, very, very rarely, because there's almost always going to be some. There have been times where there hasn't been, like you said, but
sure,
you're almost always going to have somebody at the rim waiting for you, or meeting you there, or late help, or whatever. There's some kind of pressure from a defender somewhere that is going to make you, think about changing your shot, even if you don't, or make you change it. And just that little pressure, or a guy going up to block your shot in front, between you and the rim, no matter how close you are, that's not an easy shot. If it's defended, you have to figure out how to make a shot over him. And it's also hard sometimes to make a shot that close to the rim, because you're not, you practice jumpers, you practice finishing at the rim and stuff, but usually not in traffic.
And you're usually getting hit. There's
usually getting hit.
There's a lot of physicality down there that's not getting called, some of it that is, but there's usually some kind of contact that's going to happen to you, that's going to throw you off. So, but with the Cavs, it happens. At the end of this game, they gave up 3 of them, that just wide open, easy bunnies. Sorry to say bunnies, wide open, easy layups.
No,
I don't understand. They are bunnies. I don't understand how this happens to them. You don't see any of these other teams give up as many as the Cavs do.
Yeah. If they're missing layups, they're in big trouble. They're in big trouble whether they're making or missing layups, to be honest, but they're in really big trouble if they're missing layups, because they're too inconsistent as jump shooters as well. So LeBron James has turned himself into a pretty good jump shooter. Kyle Korver's a good jump shooter, but they're not running anything. I feel like they should be.
Why is he not getting more shots, getting more plays called to him?
Yes, and that's I feel like they could be. I feel like their offense needs to be changed. I feel like this team is better than it is than it has played really all year, because I just feel like they could do something. They could do something similar to what the Warriors do or did. And just like move the ball
they
like
don't
crazy.
move the ball. It's LeBron drive and kick it out. LeBron fake a jumper, throw it inside. And I love LeBron, and he can keep games close by doing that, which is incredible in itself. But if you got to look, when they won it 2 years ago, when they had Kyrie in that, I mean, there was a lot of isolation ball that was played. Mm-hmm. But when they would get hot, they'd get hot from the outside, and they moved the ball around, and it would just go all the way around the perimeter until they got that wide open three. And they did that a lot that year.
They did.
It's not the same team, and I'm starting to get a little worried. I said Cavs in 7. I'm not backing down.
They have to win the next 4 games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I say the Cavs sweep. Cavs sweep
the last 4 games of the series.
The Warriors. This is going to be a 4-game sweep. I will never remember the first 3 games.
I'll
act like they never ever happened.
What?
I apologize because I keep cutting you off.
No,
I'm serious.
What is a thing that I would never do? Like, I will do that thing if the Cavs. I will.
Please. If you've listened this long and stayed with us, comment. Go to Twitter. Adam Schmidt 44. Is it Adam Schmidt 44?
Adam Schmidt 44.
At Adam Schmidt 44 on Twitter. At Sickwitted on Twitter. Tell us if
Nosebleeds on Facebook.
Nosebleeds on Facebook. Please comment. Tell us what it is that Adam should do.
Here's my first idea, and then I'll leave it up to the people listening to give other ones. If the Cavs sweep this series, I will enroll in the Iditarod, the dog sled race over like hundreds of miles through Alaska.
Outdoors, traveling the world,
in the frozen air.
If that's not the 3 things you hate more than anything, outdoors,
way far away
with
from where
dogs, traveling. I love it.
I enroll in the Iditarod.
On that note, everybody, please listen to this, comment, like, subscribe, do the whole thing. Share it with your friends if you think it's funny, if you think it's fun. We really appreciate all the comments. Jen, thanks for the post that got all the big comments going this week.
Yep.
Ashley, thank you so much. We appreciate the listen. Hopefully we get another out of you. And I laughed for days at what you said on there. I'm not going to lie to you. So you can find us on Facebook. We are the Nosebleeds Sportcast. Adam, once again, on the tweet box, you are
Adam Schmidt 44.
I'm at Sick With It. You can catch us on iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, and CastBox. And don't forget to post your Beat the Streak over to us either at the Facebook or at the tweet box. At one of us, we've got a group now. It's the Slippery Dogs. Search Slippery Dogs and Beat the Streak group. There's 3 of us in there, me, Adam, Annihilator. Check it out. Get on there. I'm currently at a 1-game hitting streak, which is absolutely horrible, which is now probably going to be 0 by the end of tonight. So, Adam, have you done anything good this week?
I'm at a modest 4-game right now.
4-game, not bad. So, get in the group. Come beat us. End of the year, highest number throughout the year. It doesn't have to be the highest at the end of the year. Just whoever has the highest throughout the year is going to get a Nosebleeds Sports Podcast gift box. It might have a hat. It might have a couple shirts. Not exactly sure what's going to be in it yet. At least a shirt or 2. We're going to hook you guys up. Please get on there. Maybe a sticker. I don't know. I'm thinking about now that after giving Skullface a sticker, I feel like I need to at least give the winner of the Beat the Streak group a sticker.
Yes. Beat the Streak is an app presented by Major League Baseball. You just pick a hitter every day, any hitter that's playing that day. It shows you their matchup against the starting pitcher. just search Beat the Streak. You'll find the app. Get on it. In the top left corner, you get the menu. Go to groups. Find Slippery Dogs. Search for Slippery Dogs. That's us. Join the group. We'll be able to see what you're doing. You'll be able to see what we're doing.
Not only could you possibly beat me and Adam, which is going to be difficult, but if you can if you can go more than 56 games, you also will have a chance at winning $5.6 million. So good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck is probably the best way to put it.
Because that's all you're not going to get it. It's impossible.
Yes, it is.
It's not impossible. Actually, people have done it. But
have they?
yes.
I didn't know it was done.
Yeah,
nice.
Somebody did it.
All right. Well, that's all for today. For Adam, I'm Chris. Don't forget to turn your lights on.